Incoming message.
Hello, and welcome to This Explainer. I'm Investigator Danny, and well, what we're looking at today isn't your typical presentation. I need you to consider this a classified investigative diary. We urgently need to brief you on the unprecedented South Shields case. It's a phenomenon that has absolutely shattered everything we thought we knew about the paranormal. We're opening up a digital case file of a home invasion, but not by anything made of flesh and blood. So please pay close attention today, because the rules of the digital age, they've just been weaponized against us.
Just sit with that for a second. I've been here longer than your house. This wasn't a whisper down a dark, drafty hallway. No, this chilling, autonomous message appeared out of nowhere on an innocent child's toy, a completely simple plastic magnetic doodle board, the exact kind you'd buy at literally any corner store. Imagine walking into your living room, flipping on the lights, and seeing that the magnetic stylus had dragged itself across the screen to leave you this exact note. Actually, I have to ask you to look closely at the device you're using to watch this explainer right now. Your phone, your tablet, maybe your smart monitor. Do you truly know who or what is watching you through those screens? You know, we wrap ourselves in the cozy comfort of our Wi-Fi networks and our passwords, and it gives us this false sense of everyday safety. But as this investigation proves, the glowing rectangles we stare at all day, they might just be a two-way mirror.
Let's open the file. Entry 1. The initial escalation.
Our timeline kicks off in May 2026, centering around an ordinary couple, Mark and Marianne. Their sanctuary, their home in South Shields, is invaded. Now, it's absolutely vital to understand the profound isolation they were experiencing. What started out as minor, easily dismissed technical glitches rapidly escalated into a relentless 24/7 invasion of their personal space. You really have to imagine the growing dread here. The one place where you're supposed to feel the most secure, where you kick off your shoes and literally lock the door against the outside world, suddenly becomes the absolute epicenter of your terror.
Notice the progression in these initial doodle board communications. It started with simple, single words. Help, leave, I am sorry. There's this terrifying contrast between the colorful, absolute innocence of a child's magnetic drawing board and the incredibly sinister, calculating nature of these messages. But what's truly alarming isn't just the words themselves, it's the progression. As my case files show, the entity actually developed its vocabulary, escalating from basic pleas to complex, targeted sentences that were specifically designed to psychologically break the family.
Okay, let's dive into this next part. Entry 2. Analyzing digital patterns.
Shifting our focus from the emotional terror to the cold, hard data, tracing this 2-week digital escalation reveals an incredibly fast and deliberate progression. On day 1, we have the autonomous writing. By day 7, Mark and Marianne's smartphone screens start flickering, and this is key, only during specific targeted times of the day. And by day 14, the entity is actively manipulating security camera blind spots. This terrifying timeline proves beyond a shadow of a doubt that the entity wasn't just aimlessly haunting the physical architecture of the house. It was deliberately learning, testing, and adapting to the family's electronic recording methods.
Now, this is a direct quote from my own field notes on the case. Traditional poltergeists were limited to physical manipulation. This entity is doing something we've never clearly documented before. It's learning. I have to state this firmly. We are not dealing with a random tech malfunction here. A faulty wire doesn't read your schedule, right? A bad Wi-Fi router doesn't actively hide from a camera lens. The phenomenon we're observing in South Shields has evolved into a calculated predatory intelligence.
Which brings us to Entry 3, the digital evolution.
The BBC investigation's findings completely rewrite our basic understanding of supernatural interaction, and they've given us this working definition. A modern digital haunting is an evolved supernatural phenomenon where an entity learns, adapts, and communicates by manipulating contemporary electronic devices and screens. We really have to use plain language here to grasp the severity of this. Modern entities are no longer trapped in the past, just throwing Victorian teacups across a dusty parlor. They've crossed the digital divide. They are mastering our present technology.
And this brilliantly illustrates the paradigm shift we're facing. Traditional hauntings were largely static, moving physical objects, like a ghost replaying a traumatic moment over and over on a loop, actively avoiding modern recording equipment. But the digital evolution? It is characterized by manipulating screens, testing and learning the physical limits of surveillance grids, and engaging in interactive two-way communication. It's basically the difference between watching a recorded movie and suddenly realizing the actor on the screen is looking right back at you.
Scanning the South Shield's investigative data logs gives us time-stamped, hard evidence. Take a look at this. At 2:14 a.m., the hallway security camera registers motion, but the entity perfectly navigates the exact visual blind spot of the lens. At 3:30 a.m., Marianne attempts to use her smartphone to record a cold spot, and the screen wildly flickers, completely disabling the camera app. Then at 4:15 a.m., while everyone is utterly exhausted and the room is unobserved, the child's doodle board generates a complex new message. It strategically avoided the cameras and it actively glitched the phones the exact second they tried to film it. It literally knows when it's being watched.
Let's turn to Entry 4, Loss of Sanctuary. Moving away from the raw data for a moment, the immense, crushing emotional toll this takes on a family is just horrifying. Mark and Marianne are a family trapped. This is the horrifying reality of a home technology network turning hostile. Think about how connected your own home is right now. When your private sanctuary is weaponized against you, the feeling of agonizing helplessness during these nightly intrusions is absolutely suffocating. They can't just turn off the lights to go to sleep because the glowing screens of their devices light up on their own, demanding their attention, taunting them.
0. That is the exact number of safe digital spaces Mark and Marianne have left in their home. Absolutely 0. It's a stark, chilling reminder of our modern reliance on connected devices. When the very tools we use to call for help, to feel connected to the world, and to secure our homes become the actual instruments of our torment, there is truly nowhere left to hide.
Finally, Entry 5. Is your home safe?
Turning the focus directly onto your own household technology, I need to remind you that this isn't some cold case from the history books. The BBC investigation into the South Shield's Poltergeist is active and ongoing right now. The family is still in that house. The magnetic doodle board is still writing new messages. This digital evolution is real, it is present, and it is actively learning how we operate.
So, the crucial point is, you need to know what to look for in your own home. Here are my direct, actionable steps for identifying unusual behaviors in your smart devices. Number 1, monitor for screens flickering at identical specific times of night, because that indicates a schedule, not a random glitch. Number 2, check for sudden, unexplained shifts or physical movements creating new blind spots in your home security cameras. And number 3, closely observe if your personal device malfunctions, like a frozen app or a battery draining to 0 instantly, only occur when you actively attempt to record a strange noise or environment.
I want to leave you with this final, vital thought. We used to think ghosts were confined to old floorboards and drafty attics. But if this case proves that the dead are learning to use our phones, our cameras, and our screens, are you entirely sure you're the only one looking at your screen right now? Keep your eyes open. Stay vigilant.
Come to me, chickens! Cock-a-doodle-doo!